Hello friends, welcome back to Boody's Emporium and to my messy desk. You are not going to, well, you will believe what just happened is I did this whole tutorial and then found that it had stopped recording. Oh yes, that's my lot today, so I'm going to have to go through it just as a bit of a mini tutorial for you and do it again. So, what I was telling you about before we were rudely interrupted and it stopped was that I'm going to make these little notebooks / journals for some people that I know in my class. I've just started up pottery and I wanted to do something nice for them. They sounded very interested in them. So these are just a day craft with a notebook. I have shown this, I believe, on my channel before. But it's just a little $3 notebook from a stationery store. You can get them from your dollar store or wherever you want to get them. I've chosen, about 5 or 6 pages throughout that I've done up in various junk journaling and left the rest for their, for recipes or whatever it is that they want to do. So this is a great little idea if you have a birthday gift to make, if you have something you want to make for the teacher, or with Christmas coming up, you can start making your own personal gifts at an affordable price because you can use anything to decorate them with. That's the idea of junk journaling. This one I've covered in a fabric that I had, so it's quite nice vintage paisley fabric, and I've gone over the top of that with laces and whatnot. Okay. Now what I was showing you before we weren't recording, I had some brown paper that I got in a package when you buy from Chemist Warehouse online here. They pack it with this brown paper and some unusual, I kept it because a friend of mine uses this all the time, this kind of packaging, okay? And all I did was I cut a piece the size I need to cover it and I scrunched it all up and then I opened it up and I glued it on with a glue stick. Now this little notebook, I find these behave the best when doing this. It's like a fabric covered little notebook. They're just a few dollars. You can get them in dollar store or wherever, right? But this kind of fabric, if you can get that, great. If not, then just sand up if you've got shiny. But if you can get a hard cover, it works much better. Okay? Any kind of book, any size, doesn't matter. And so I glued it on and then I just ran this distressed ink over it, and which means that it caught it on the wrinkles and just ages it up a bit. Okay. Then what I did was after I glued it down, I glued down the white page to seal it. And then I've made our first template page. Now I did a little bit of grunging around the white paper, right, to put it down here. This is all fine. This is all this kind of mess around here. This is all good. And then I glued the paper on. Now you would do about 5 signature pages through it. You can do as many or as few as you like, right? I showed how it was done. Can you believe this? But I took a page, one page, and either side I put a piece on. Now this is card that I had printed out, and this is paper. So I put one on each side just to show you how it can be done, and that also strengthens it, and so you can start to begin to decorate it. We'll decorate another page because you missed out on all of that. But you can see that's where it's finished, and it had this plain page, and so I just glued that down. I can see that I've got a bit of glue on this page, and it's happily sticking together. Good job. All right, so, and then the front, I put a bit of tea stained paper, or coffee stained paper in this case. I cut it to the size that I wanted, and then I did the edges and I glued it down. Then I went into my container of ephemera that I previously made, and that's where this comes from, because I was going to start decorating it with different things. I had pictures cut out and all kinds of things, and then I found this that I had made, and this is a pocket that Crafts from the Dungeon, Rails at Crafts from the Dungeon showed us how to do. And so I decided to play around and make one, and I did that and got lovely little vintage pull-outs. Guipure lace from France. It's got a little window with Guipure lace in it. Little pull-out there. You can write things on. And I thought it was so lovely, so I thought I would stick that on the front. Now, this looks a lot brighter on camera on my screen. Hopefully you can see how aged and browny, grungy it really is. It's not quite as bright as what you see there. And so, I might put maybe a stamp or a flower or something along those lines on there. You can tie it, to shut it, you can tie it with a piece of lace, a piece of fabric. You can punch a hole in it either side and tie it with something, anything that you like. So yeah, that was just an easy way to do it. I forgot that I had this one. So if you're having a day where you don't know what you're going to make, look at my fingers with the stamp. And you consider make different ephemera, because you never know when you're going to use it. Here's another one. I could possibly stick that on the back page. Some little bits and pieces, all different shapes and sizes. There's a little pocket, I might pop that on. This was from Happiness is Crafting with G.I. Kerr. Now she's got a channel for paper crafting and junk journaling, all that sort of thing. Honestly, follow her, she's amazing. But she's also got a Facebook page. Happiness is Crafting with G.I. Kerr, Kerr. And if you follow her, she has Friday freebies. And what that is it's downloads that you can download and you can keep forever. And that's what this is. This little pocket, and it came with the decorations to put on. There's other decorations too, but I hadn't quite finished it. I was just playing around with it. And so you can use it in your junk journaling, and I've downloaded a lot of hers and bought ones from her as well. Now she keeps about 10 of the Friday freebies on her Facebook. She doesn't keep them all like they do. If you watch, you'll get them all eventually, as they go, you download it. But if you're starting late and you've missed out on a lot, she's got the rest of them on her Etsy shop, and they're only $1.68. So, and they've often got several pages. They're not just one page. They're often got several pages. So it's well worth it, and then they're yours forever. So that's what I did with that. And then, as I said, showed you how to do, another page. So how about we decorate this one just for the sake of doing it, and because I messed up the other recording. Can you believe that? It was fabulous. It was succinct. We had a good time. Jokes were told. Dates were made. This is an ephemera that I made quite some time back. It's got a vintage button on it, which is quite lovely. It's got one of the little lanterns on there, which I showed you in one of my other what's on my desk. And I've made a little ticket, little pull-out ticket. You can easily pop that in there. You can go for another theme where, you can have the pocket on here, and then we can make something for the outside. Sorry, itchy nose. I've had trouble with hay fever recently, so that might be nice. I wonder if that would fit in. Does that fit in? Yep, that's one of hers, you see. So it fits right on in. So that's quite lovely. So we might work on that too. So let's glue this down. I'm keeping it as simple as I can because we don't want it to get too convoluted. We want simple craft in a day. This is terrific if you just think, oh my goodness, it's so-and-so's birthday and I forgot. What little notebooks have I got, writing pads, whatever, that I could do up and make something today and wrap it up and give it to her tomorrow, And it's lovely because it's a personalised gift, and I think they mean everything. You're making something with someone in mind. I think it's lovely. Now, paper to paper, I like to use glitter glue. It's a glue that works well with glitter. When people do they do the Christmas baubles and they can put a name and a date on it. This is what they do, and they write with the glue, and then they shake all their glitter over it, shake it off, and there's the name on the bauble, So very straightforward. Don't know if I'm giving away secrets, but anybody could do that, so make sure that you do. I've left the back blank so that you can write, little notes on it or whatever. So let's see, what else can we put on this? We're going to have this here, right? I'll probably put a little bit of blue ribbon on there or something like that. We can have our little... I got this bird cage out and just covered it with the Dark Walnut Distress Ink by Tim Holtz. Okay. And I think we might use that. We could put it there too. And let's see, what else have we got? I was originally going to use this on the front. It's a vintage clock face. But then I saw the other thing and I was like, oh, I like that. I like it a lot. think I like it down there, just to be a bit different. But we do need some things up there. I need to find my stamps and things as well. Okay, let's see. Have I got anything else that we've already made that we can pop up there? You can see you can just, if you're not feeling like doing anything in particular on the day and you just want to play around, then just, you know, just make some ephemera that you might want to use at a later date. This is Summers of Happiness is Crafting's downloads. Sometimes you just want to use a little picture. You know, you don't have to do anything with it. You can put lace behind it or whatever you want to do, but you don't always have to, you know. I'm trying to sort of show you the simplicity of what you can do. I'll pop that down a little bit more. Let me see. What lace have I got? Oh, my goodness me. Do I have my lace here? I have some lace here. So let's just pull this out. A bit like Mary Poppins' bag over here. I've got all sorts of goodies. So, let's take the elastic off. Why don't we could put a little bit of lace behind it. Okay, it just adds a little thing. And Crafts from the Dungeon, she always says layers, minimum of 3 layers, Laura. So there you go, Rails. We're adding layers. I'm all new to this, so, you know, don't feel like you're alone in this. I'm very new to it. Now, I would need a different type of glue for the lace. Now, I get this in Australia. Crafter's Choice craft glue. It's very, very good. It bonds anything, and it's very inexpensive. So, for a large bottle. Now, do you ever have trouble telling which side is which? I do all the time. So, let me just... Ooh, this does come out a bit wet, but you won't ever get it off once it's down, you know, and it doesn't take long to dry, so have no fear of that. And it dries clear. So let's just pop that down, shall we? And given that that will dry nicely, and we'll just put a little bit on here. Comes out very quickly because I cut the hole too big, so that's on me. But we can pop that on there. So I've got the lace coming out each side. Okay, and I'll put a bit of ribbon on that. Now also, let's stick this on. It'll stick this on as well. It's on the main bits. Now it doesn't matter that it's off to the side. Not everything has to be center. I'm learning that because I'm so OCD with things that things have to have a certain amount of balance to them. But and whilst you can achieve that eclectically, it's still, you've got to sort of relax and, you know, let it be what it's going to be, so to speak. Right. You can see my desk. I've got all kinds of goodies. You can see a bit of it. All kinds of things. I don't think that's going to go with it. So let me see. What else can we use? I've got boxes and boxes of ephemera and bling and, you know, all that sort of thing. Here's my stamps. Why don't we do some stamps? I love me some stamps. Okay. So I've got these lovely old numbers. They're just gorgeous. Bourgeois, and I've got letters as well. Let's have a look. I got like a whole package of stamps sent to me, and I only paid $8 for the whole lot. Like, they're so wonderful, these people. So let's get some black. I use StazOn for the black. I got all glue all over my fingers, so forgive me. Again, as I said, it looks a lot better in real life. It looks much more sort of vintage and grungy, but it's just, it's hard to show on my camera. Okay, so what shall we write? We just want maybe just a number and a letter and a number perhaps. What about a Q? Let's see how that looks, shall we? Doesn't matter that it comes off grungy, doesn't matter at all. Oh. Q. 8. Oh. They're brand new, these ones, by the way. Q80. I'm doing them crooked and so on purpose. So I think it's more organic. And then I want a little letter. I can have that. Like it's part of an index, please. Which is the same. Oh, like I said, they're new, so they haven't been taken apart. So I've got these in all different sizes. They're wonderful, to be honest. There we go. Like, I love it. I love it. Love, 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 love. All right. Oh, come on. There we go. Now, I often do my 3s upside down and back the front, so too bad if I do. Oh, that was interesting. You know why that's interesting? Because there's no stamp on that end. But we don't mind because it's all grunge. All right. Let's put those back in here. All right. Let's just give this a little flattening. Just to encourage it to stick. That glue will be getting tacky now. I did put it on quite heavily, but it does dry quite quickly. Right. Now, what else do we want? We could have National Dairy Products Association. We could, I feel like it needs something here, and it might need a little flower or something up the top. So, let's have a look what we've got over here. Oh, such a long reach. Let's see, we've got a box of flowers and such. Now, obviously, this is going to make your page bulk up a bit, but that's why you have a thing to tie it shut. So, you know. All right, so what do we want? We could have that and put a little Diamante thing in the middle of it. We could have perhaps a little pink flower with a stamen in it already. That's quite nice. Simple, yet nice. Ooh. Don't like that either. I can fiddle around and get fussy for, you know, ages. It's just the way that it is. But I think they'll be nice. I'm just trying to keep it simple for you to just, you know, give you ideas of things that you can do. I mean, I saw something today on Christina Shack, which I absolutely loved. And she had cut out a piece, I think probably from an old magazine in the 50s. And it was a mother and child. And it sort of cut off at the waist. But what she did is she got, go have a look at her, Christina Shack. It's her latest one today. And what she did, so the mother and child was quite a big picture and it came down this way. And it cut off at the waist. And what she did is she got a piece of that pattern paper that's kind of dark like this, but it's thin, and she gathered it up and she sewed it on her sewing machine and glued it on as a skirt, and it looks amazing. Like, it just looks amazing. So, you know, there's any number of things that you can do. So these are paper flowers, so I'll use the glitter glue because I know it's it'll stick. As I said, it'll feel bulky in places, like when you want to write on your page, you just have to put something under it, but it's going to be lovely. I will probably squish them down a bit more once they're well and truly dried. And put that back so we know where it is, because Boots has trouble with that, putting things back. Now I had some, let me see, where are you? Sentiments that I printed out. So maybe we can get one of those out. Oh, here we go. Maybe a nice sentiment might look good. What do we think? Yeah, maybe down here like a little stamp. That might be nice. I wonder if these other scissors work. Let's try, shall we? Nope. Okay, they're going to have to go back because, like, they're not cheap. And they're crappy. Alright. Just cut this off. I like these scissors because they're slightly, ever so slightly serrated, and I think that looks quite good on the edge. Just carefully cut around. Don't worry about a little tiny bit of white because we're going to put our edging on it. There we go. And we'll use the walnut again so everything matches up. Just a little bit of that. A little bit of that, bit of schmutz. Okay. Goodness, covered in glue. And we'll put it down there with our glitter glue. Just basically make sure you've got your corners and your edges, you know, and just spread it without putting more on. Now this corner's not quite down, but I'm thinking that I might find a leaf or something and pop that under there. And I'll put a bit of ribbon on this, right, and do a little bit here and there. It does take a while to sort of figure out what you want, but that's basically it. That's what we did before we were rudely interrupted on how to put it together. I will be making little holes in there and tying it with some lace or something, and I will do something on the spine. I'm not sure quite what I'm going to do yet, but there you go. That's your little junk journal / notebook that you can make for somebody to give them for Christmas or a gift or a thank you or whatever it might be. Personalized, it's pretty, and you can, if it's family, you can even use your own photos and keepsakes. So I hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe.